Well, you know what time it is. It's time to get kidnapped! Yay! Ah, Alaska, just where I wanted to be. I make my way through the area, just sort of killing things as I go, until I wander upon a wild edgelord. Yeah, NPCs still don't quite know what to do against charge attacks. Oh no, this door doesn't open. Guess I am stuck. Yep, that door needed to be locked. This makes complete and total sense. Thank you, Dark Souls. Time to open up our first DLC fight. A nun! Wait, why am I fighting a nun? I didn't sign up for this.
But I need my flail.
Oh, you're not really a nun, are you? Well, guess it's too late to back out now. I mean, how hard could fighting a fake nun possibly be?
I will snuff out these ashes for good.
Okay, Freed is super mobile. You will miss quite a bit. But when you hit her, oh, you hit her for a lot of damage. And she staggers easily. So, if you get lucky, you can essentially chain charged attacks together and absolutely evaporate her health.
Whoa!
Yeah, let's be honest. A second phase here really isn't that surprising. What is surprising, however, is just how easy the second phase is. There's actually plenty of safe windows to punish so long as you play safe and keep an eye on the overall surroundings. The damage is still great overall, not enough to stop the power of the charged attack. Easy boss. Now this is some baloney. Again, nobody expects a third phase to a boss fight. Miyazaki knew what he was doing. Black Flame Freed has the same problem as first phase, except that it actually provides even more openings than before, making Freed really easy with charged attacks, despite her speed. Honestly expected it to be way harder. Moving on. Yep, we are gonna do Champion Gravetender now, the unloved boss of the DLC. Champion Gravetender is ironically enough much harder than Sister Frieda's. With so many add-ons at the start, plus his ability to dodge and or block your attacks, it makes what's normally an easy boss people ride off to one of the hardest in this challenge thus far. The best way to avoid dying is just to anticipate the big dog's attacks in advance. Okay, he's dead. Next DLC. I make my way around the Dreg heap, killing annoying laser angels, and picking up useful rings that we will add to our build. Specifically, the two rings we are grabbing here are the Ring of Steel Protection and the Ring of Favor, or, if you're a real one, you know it's called the FAP Ring. The Ring of Steel Protection increases our physical defense, while the FAP Ring increases health, stamina, and equip load. The Demon Princes hit really hard, and there isn't many good opportunities to attack. Sometimes, you're taking hits without getting yours off. You're lucky to even trade with the boss. But once you get the first demon dead, the second demon isn't all that hard to kill. Yeah, of course there's a second phase. Classic FromSoft. I chose the Meteor Demon because... Just kidding. I didn't really choose it. I don't care. I would do either the Laser or the Meteor. Whichever one doesn't really matter for this challenge. The Demon Princes hit really hard, and it's now that the limitation of charge attacks are obvious. Trading blows is no longer as viable between the amount of damage I take with each hit to the massive health bar that the Demon Princes have. Makes it so this fight is a super close call. But with that, the Demon Princes are defeated. Next up, Archdragon Peak. Yes, it's not in the DLC, but I didn't do it in the first video. If you want to skip to Ring City, you can, but I'd recommend sticking around to see me suffer on Ancient Wyvern. I decided to meditate, and somehow I get sent here. And blocking my path, the Ancient Wyvern. Since I can't use plunging attacks, I have to do it the long way. How fun. But then, I had an idea. What would happen if I bought some poison resin, and then tried killing the Ancient Wyvern? Yes, it's resistant to poison, but it isn't immune. So I kept on attacking the Ancient Wyvern, but because of only being able to use heavy attacks, the Wyvern didn't get poisoned, not even once. I used all the resin I had and was forced to just keep trying to kill it, but because of its large health pool and sometimes janky attacks, combined with the fact that heavy attacks open you to a lot of attack windows, and the fact that you don't often fight the Wyvern up front, I didn't know the timings very well, and ended up dying. Yep, great use of 15 minutes of my life. But all hope isn't lost. I discovered you can actually hit the Wyvern's head with correct positioning and timing. This can only occur during a couple of attacks he has, and it only works if you are on different elevation levels. Don't tell me why, but if you're on the same elevation, you can't hit his head. You either have to be on the stairs at the top, or on the stairs near the bottom. This led me to have to constantly reposition the dragon, but the damage against the head is decent enough, and even though it still took me a while, I finally killed the Ancient Wyvern. Making my way through Archdragon Peak, trying to forget my sufferings, and I reach a lever, so I do as any sane person would do, and I pull it. What? Who the hell linked up this lever to the weather? Nothing makes sense anymore. Nameless King's first phase provides relatively little issue. While you can miss your attacks, the dragon provides plenty of opportunities to attack it, making the first phase fly by relatively fast. But of course, the problem is Nameless King then gets really mad that his friend has died. Understandable really, but not good news on our part.
The question is not who will win this battle, it's who will be the first to beg me for mercy!
Second phase begins, and our damage is really good. But we also have a limited number of attack windows, so we are limited to trading blows. All of this is expected, and honestly, Nameless King wasn't that hard of a fight. Sure, there was a lot of times that I missed him or was knocked out of an animation, but the amount of healing I have plus the damage I do makes it so it doesn't really matter. For someone who is supposedly the son of Gwyn, to put up more of a fight. But nonetheless, it was a cinematic duel, and it felt amazing to fight him. With that, back to the Ring City. Well, it's Ring City time, and I yet again get kidnapped by the cheese demons. And I enjoy a majestic view. It's beautiful. It's amazing what FromSoft creates. Making my way through the Ring City, I run past all of the annoying archers, the annoying ads, and most certainly, the annoying dragon portion. Well, it's about time for Bridge Deer. Now's a good time as any to say, thank you for watching thus far. I'm a small channel, and what you do matters. If you enjoyed this video thus far, subscribing, leaving a comment, or a like helps this video reach more people, and it helps inspire me to continue creating entertaining videos. Thanks for listening. Back to the challenge. Would you shut the hell up? I do not need a 35-second monologue every time I enter your boss arena. Okay, it's finally Half-Life time. plus his gang squad. Half-White is actually competent as a boss for once. He's able to dodge my charged attacks occasionally, and he plays it smart by keeping a distance and using lighter attacks, not giving me as many opportunities to hit him. Oh, don't get me wrong. He isn't hard. If I died to Half-Light, it would be a shame on my entire bloodline. Midir is the type of boss that you either love or hate, and there's good arguments for both sides, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to kill Midir. And fighting him, you notice a couple things. First is the damage. It's pretty great. The next is Midir provides plenty of openings, and with those two things in tandem, it really doesn't look like Midir will last long. Sure, he hits hard if he hits you. And if you didn't know his moveset, well, I'm sure it would be troublesome, but that's besides the point. I was afraid that he would move his head out of the way and I would miss him before I started the fight. But honestly, it didn't happen that often, and the windows he gives are pretty large. I could definitely hitless him if I wasn't so greedy with my hits. The mighty Dark Eater has now been slain. I touched a thing, and now the entire world is gone! Thank you, Dark Souls. I always wondered what the apocalypse would look like. Apparently, they are very into Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, you meant Gale. Oh, makes sense. Finally found my kidnapper. At the end of the world of all places. Well, only one thing left to do. Let's fight. Here's a fun fact about Gale. He can be staggered, and apparently with my build, in Phase 1, he staggers with literally every single hit, giving you time to recover from animation, making it so I actually only use one healing flask in the entirety of Phase 1. While Gale doesn't stagger with every hit in Phase 2, he does stagger every 1 to 2 hits, depending on a couple of factors, which we won't get into right now, and it really isn't that much better for him. Combined with the fact that a lot of his attacks can be sidestepped, we hit the phase transition pretty fast. Third phase is where it gets hard. Gale is very fast, super aggressive, and hits harder than a truck that sends people to a faraway land. You get knocked out of your animations constantly, and the windows to attack him are few and far between. Gale is probably one of the hardest fights in the game, due to just his third phase alone. Sometimes you might get lucky, and he will miss you if you have the proper positioning, but I would not heavily rely on it. The battle is nothing short of a masterclass of boss design. With that, I hope you enjoyed, and don't you dare go hollow.